What's up YouTube, Capital G here, got some Salamangreat duels for you guys to check out. This is featuring that extra spicy tech. You guys know that we are no stranger on this channel to showing, teched out versions of Salamangreats. Most notably, I featured the True King version of Salamangreats, which is kind of cool. It does allow you to summon True King of all calamities and the Fire True King. You can use him to like blow up cards like Spinny and Foxy in your hand, and Jack Jaguar, Falco. You can just summon them later back from the graveyard, so it's really no thing. But this one uses this card right here called the Iron Dragon Tiamaton, right? And it's an interesting card because it can actually act as a hand trap in certain situations, because you summon this guy as a quick effect if there are 3 cards in any given column. Now you summon him on the field, and then you actually get to nuke all the cards that are in the column that he is actually summoned, and then neither player can use they cannot use that column. So it's actually a pretty interesting card, and you can summon it to like if you have a monster in the extra monster zone, you can kind of summon it to make it so your opponent can't summon in the extra monster zone, which is kind of nuts. Also, it can blow their cards up, which is kind of cool as well. So you guys will kind of see exactly why it can be used in Salamangreats. And just to put it in kind of context, right, so that you guys understand, well, why run it in Salamangreats. When you naturally combo off with Salamangreats with your Stalyo and your Jack Jaguar and Sunlight Wolf, you're going to end on a board that has Sunlight Wolf. It's going to have Jack Jaguar in the same column because Jack Jaguar has to be summoned in that column, and then usually you'll have like Roar or Rage. If you put the Roar and Rage in the same exact column as your Sunlight Wolf and Jack Jaguar, there's your 3 cards right there that you need to summon your Tiamaton. So it's pretty easy with Salamangreats. You just do your natural combo and you'll always be able to get 3 cards in a column. But anyways, he's facing off against Pens. Pens go first. Pens have to activate the Pendulum Call, which, I mean, it's fine, but it does basically stop your Electromite because you can't blow up your scales. He can blow up on his monsters, which is a thing. He's actually going to go, this was interesting, right? So at first I was like, all right, well, this turn's basically just going to be trash. It looks like he's not really going to do anything because he goes for Ignister, and I'm like, who in their right mind would make Ignister when their opponent doesn't have any cards on the field? But he actually is going to go for a pretty sick play here. He's going to go for some Guard Dragons. Keep in mind, Ignister is a dragon, and so is the Luster Pendulum. So he actually gets a couple Guard Dragon plays, and he summons a Morphage Goliath. Now, generally speaking, that card would absolutely wreck Salamangreats. I've played against it IRL. I've played against it online. This card will beat the entire Salamangreat deck. I mean, this card can honestly beat a lot of decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! However, he does have 2 cards in the same column, and that's really where the Tiamaton can come in. Now, he can activate Call by the Grave, and again, Tiamaton is a quick effect, so you can actually chain it to Call by the Grave. There are actually 3, there are technically 3 cards in this column, so he can summon it. He can actually nuke both his opponent's monsters, and then after doing that, you're basically just playing regular Salamangreat, so you don't have to do anything outside of the norm. Now, I think yeah, his opponent is just gonna like scoop in this scoop because he realizes, all right, I have no chance. My Electromite's gone. I don't really have anything good. Even if I do Pendulum, I get the Pendulum 1 monster, and it's not gonna be my Goliath. So his opponent does just scoop it up there. But you see how useful it can actually be even when you're going second, because if your opponent does put 2 cards in one column, all you have to do is set a card on the field, and then boom, you can instantly summon your Tiamaton and start trying to nuke their cards. Or as you saw in that duel, you don't even have to set something. You can just like activate a Call by the Grave, or you can just activate something like a Salamangreat Circle. Next duel, I believe, is against True Draco, and it's a 2 out of 3 against Draco, if I'm not mistaken. First duel, he's going first, looking to probably get rid of the Jack Jaguar from his hand, because that's a card that, you generally don't ever want to draw. And you see right here, he's specifically making it so that he has 3 cards in his column. So, I mean, maybe he probably could have activated Salamangreat, like willed Salamangreat. He probably could have link summoned and then summoned back the, I don't know, maybe summoned back the Jack Jaguar, whatever. The point is, he's just trying to get to 3 cards in that column. And yeah, personally, I think he could have done this play a lot better, but it's fine. Now, his opponent, If this was me, I just would have normal summoned Inspector Border. I think Inspector Border like hard counters Salamangreats. I mean, honestly, Inspector Border hard counters everything that's not named fucking Sky Striker. But he is going to go ahead and he's going to summon Tiamaton again, and he's going to just blast the Ignis Heat into Oblivion. So his opponent's going to go for Heritage. He's going to hit that with that Ghost Ogre. Probably going to go for Disciples. Maybe he'll Ash that. Maybe he won't. We'll have to see. It looks like he doesn't. His opponent doesn't have any monsters though, so it is pretty much going to be open season. Another thing about Tiamaton is it's a level 4, so it allows Salamangreats to also go for some XC plays, which I think he might actually go for here, going for Abyss Dweller, which is obviously good against True Draco. Not exactly sure why he summoned Abyss Dweller in defense mode. That just seems silly. It's locking out his spells and traps. So if the True Draco player sends cards to the graveyard for like the Apocalypse, they're just not going to activate. If he tributes using any of them, they're also not going to activate. So obviously there's a really good card. Uses it in the draw phase just so his opponent can't really do anything about it. Border is going to be summoned, but Border's really not going to be able to out this situation, especially when the opponent has Rage. That was so weird. I don't know why the Salamangreat player is doing that. Like, why not just pop the Border with Rage and then just like leave your opponent with the Apocalypse with nothing else? Honestly, it's not gonna matter. He's just so far ahead. Keep in mind right here, he could have gone for game. I think he's trolling here because what he could do is he could just activate Called by the Grave in this column just like he did in the first duel, and then he can summon his Tiamaton just as a quick effect. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that that's enough damage for game. Let's see if his opponent is left with less than 2,000. Yeah, he could have easily just gamed him here. He could still do it. He could just activate Called by the Grave and just summon Tiamaton, and basically that's just GG, but he decides not to. I mean, I personally would not have given my opponent another turn, because why give your opponent a turn when obviously you don't need to? It's fine. He still has he still has it set up where he has 3 cards in one column. His opponent tries to attack with Inspect the Border, summons Tiamaton, blows up the Border. He knows that that's GG. Ignis Heat can't be summoned, so it's pretty much a wrap. And then finally, we have our second game versus the Draco player. Draco, once again, not getting like the greatest play. It's because that he went for this. He kind of sold out here for this True Draco Heritage play, and once it got ashed, that was bad, man. The ash just basically stopped him, because now he has to tribute to Summon Majesty's Maiden. He can't just leave his field opening at Salamangreats. Salamangreats will just kill you, and he has Pankatrop, so he's kind of hard countered here. Now personally, if my opponent activated True King's Return here, I just would have went ahead, because he already activated the like Majesty's Maiden. Maybe I think I would have just went ahead and chained Twin Twister. I probably would have given up the other Twin Twister in my hand, or probably Mirror, because I think that card is just not really that good. Either way, I just would have went ahead. I would have blasted the True King's Return, then I would have blasted the Diagram, and then if my opponent activate True King's Return to try to pop my Pankatrops or my Pankratrops, I would have went ahead and blasted the Majesty's Maiden. But he actually does it in a really weird way. I think that would have been the right play, because at that point, not only he's getting basically the same result, but he's he doesn't have to deal with the Majesty's Maiden. The Majesty's Maiden would have died. I think he's going to end up bouncing the Majesty's Maiden to his opponent's hand, which still leaves open the door for him to just use like Diagram on Majesty's Maiden. So I feel like my play just would have been much more efficient. Honestly, it's not really gonna matter when Salamangreats get this ahead. It's even if you're just bad with Salamangreats, the deck will basically just kind of carry you. He's gonna set both Twin Twisters. He does not set Circle for some reason, which I thought was kind of weird. He just discards his Circle. See, then he just ends up going neg with the Twin Twister. Like, my play would have been way more efficient. It would have been basically a 3 for 3. His opponent would have gotten a Surge, but that's basically it. Once again, he's going for that Tiamaton, and he's using this card in every single duel, man. Seriously, he just uses it to blow up Ignis Heat, as we saw in the first duel, and simply attack for game. So yeah, just a nice little piece of spicy tech, because again, with Jaguar, it's so easy to manipulate your columns when playing Salamangreats. You're always going to have Sunlight Wolf on the field. That's pretty much a no-brainer. But then when you summon Jaguar back, that's 2 cards in that column. All you need to do is have one more card, and basically you just get like a field nuker. And again, if you do summon this like in this, if you would have summoned this in this column, his opponent cannot use the extra monster zone. So that's actually pretty nice. But anyways, whatever you guys thought of these crazy duels and Tiamaton, little spicy tech for Salamangreats, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos. And actually, let me go ahead and show you guys what the deck looks like on paper. I haven't been doing that as much as I should lately, and it's actually pretty standard. I mean, really, if you look at it, yeah, there's a couple of things in here, like Salamangreat Mirror, that no one really runs, and he's only running 2 copies of Foxy, but everything else is like, you know, some people run, like I personally like to just run 2 Lady Debug. Some people run Flame Buffalo, some people don't run it. The hand trap lineup seems pretty solid. I think that some of the numbers of the hand traps, like Phantasme and Veiler, these were cut down, I guess, from 3 to 2, basically to be able to fit the Tiamaton into the deck. Otherwise, I don't think that you'd actually have space. Either that, or you like maybe. I mean, personally, I'd probably just drop like the Twin Twisters and then just be able to play like 3 of these cards because I think that they're just like incredibly good. But everything else is like some people run 1 will, some people have run, you know, run 2 because the card is like pretty good. But everything else is like pretty standard. You don't really have to change all that much. And again, just off of your natural basic plays, you can summon Tiamaton fairly easily. I have no idea, by the way, why why Violet Chimera is in here, because he totally can't summon it. I mean, maybe there's supposed to be a Fusion of Fire in here, but based on like this this main deck, I don't see a way that he can actually summon Violet Chimera. So we'll just go ahead and take that out, I guess. Anyways, thank you guys for watching.